Oh, yeah, waiting for me to get to the mic. Yeah. Oh, well, welcome to New Orleans Jazz Museum. On behalf of the New Orleans Jazz National Historical Park, we want to thank you for coming to Arrowhead Jazz Band concert. On today, we have a killer band full of great musicians from New Orleans and Baton Rouge. We will claim Baton Rouge a little bit. But today, the mission of the park, New Orleans Jazz National Historical Park, is to educate, enlighten, and entertain. Our purpose is to share New Orleans jazz music and also share New Orleans musicians. The musicians that we will bring up on the stage are from New Orleans and have studied the music and have gone on to be professional musicians. So I want you to help me welcome these musicians as I call them up. On piano, we will have Shay Pierre. On upright bass, Max Moran. On trumpet, Steve Lands. And I'm not the only one that's going to be wearing a ranger uniform. We also have Hunter Miles Davis, who's on drums. He's a park ranger as well. Yes. Like I said, this band, Arrowhead Jazz Band, is comprised of park rangers like me and Hunter and local New Orleans musicians. But I want to say that these musicians travel far. Their music is so great that they get called all over. And so this first tune, it will be People Get Ready. I want you to get ready for this musical journey that we're about to go on. I think I might try to do this as our theme song. I don't know. But People Get Ready. It was written by Curtis Mayfield in 1964. And so we're just going to kick that off, and I'll talk about our musical journey after the song. Do you like that? All right. Again, we have Shay Pierre on keys, Max Moran on bass, Hunter Miles Davis. And now we're on this musical train. Let's take a journey. So this month, starting on September 15th, through October 15th, we'll be highlighting Hispanic Heritage Month. And so as like a pre-show, I want to open up this music or set list. I built the set list highlighting two places or two countries where a lot of, I guess, my musical influence and New Orleans musical influence. So throughout the set list, we're going to talk about a little bit of Cuba and Brazil. But before we get into that, I want to feature Steve Lands on trumpet, and he's going to play a song for you titled St. Thomas. Go ahead. goodness, I was back there dancing, having a good old time. I saw some of y'all moving just a little bit. And so I just want to give a little historical context with the tune St. Thomas. The song was written by Sonny Rollins in 1998 on his project, Saxophone Colossus. And so with these tunes, you get inspired by where you visit. And with this next tune that we're going to do is called Girl from Ipanema. It's coined as the first song of Bossa Nova. I don't really think that's all the way accurate. It's like sometimes there are things or traditions that are already happening in a region, and then someone may make it popular or bring it out to other regions where it's not known. And so the father of Bossa Nova, his name is Antonio Carlos Jobim, and he's most noted as being the father of Bossa Nova, but he really kind of created it, but also it was already happening in Brazil, and then it just got internationalized. And just like many songs or just traditions from New Orleans, in New Orleans tradition, before it got brought out to the rest of the country and other countries, the culture and tradition was already existing here. So I like to make those connections. So the next song that we'll play for you is Girl from Ipanema. Thank you. Walking, and when he passes each one, he passes goes. But when he walks, he's like a samba that sways so cool and swings so gentle that when he passes each girl, they go ah. Oh, but I watch him so sadly. How can I tell him I love him? Yes, I would give my heart gladly, but each day when he goes to the sea, he looks straight ahead, not at me. Oh, but tall and dark and young and handsome, the boy from Ipanema goes walking, and when he passes, I smile, but he doesn't see. No, he doesn't see. there on the keys. Oh, tall and tan and young and lovely, the boy from New Orleans goes walking, and when he passes that girl, she go, that's a Trey boy. Oh, but when he walks, he's like a street beat that swings so cool and sways so gentle that when he passes each one, they go, oh, ah. Oh, but I watch him so sadly. How can I tell him I love him? I would give my heart so gladly, but each day when he goes to the sea, he looks straight ahead, but not at me. Oh, tall and tan and young and lovely, the boy from New Orleans goes walking, and when he passes, I smile, but he doesn't see. No, 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 he doesn't see. No, he doesn't see. No, he doesn't see. No, he doesn't see. No, he doesn't. No, no, he doesn't look at me. No, no, doesn't look at me. No, no, doesn't look at me. No, no, doesn't look at me. Thank you. That's a girl from Ipanema, boy from Ipanema, somewhere, New Orleans, Ipanema, I don't know. During this time, I want to open up the floor to any questions that you may have. If you don't, I'm going to ask some questions about you. I don't know, so don't all raise your hand at once. Anyone has any questions? Yes? Okay, well, the funny thing about this setup, this band, is that Steve Lenz here just had an amazing show called Rearranging the Planets, if I'm correct, yes? And it's a musical work, and I would like you to tell us more about that. What was your journey on creating Rearranging the Planets? And also, Ashay Pierre and Max Moran were a part of this project, so it's funny that we're all here, well, y'all are here on this stage just after like coming up that great show. How did that come about?
So yeah, it's it is. I mean, it's funny that they are here like right now playing this, but in a way, it's not. It's the whole purpose of this piece was. I really was in love with the soundtrack to Star Wars. Really, that's the intro. You know, I really love that soundtrack, and it was written by John Williams, famously, as anybody knows. And and you can, if you listen to this piece, you can hear the heavy influence that he took from Gustav Holst's The Planets. It's written in the 1910s and debuted then anyway. And I was so in love with. I eventually became in love with that piece as a whole. And I messed with the concept of like redoing it. And I really loved how Duke Ellington redid Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Suite. And I thought that was like a nice homage. And I was like, you know what, I respect what you did, but here's my spin on it too. And so that's the initial idea came from just that, like, you know what, I really love the piece. And this is how I feel about it. And you know, so I put in some work and got a great band. And part of it was the reason that I say that it's funny that they're here, but it's not, is it's when you're writing music, for me, I like to write about people. And so it was kind of like who I see consistently. And over years, like we've been playing together, what, decade more. So I was like, oh, okay, I wonder what Max would do here. I wonder what Shay would do here. And that's kind of how the piece like kind of got its center, at least.
I want to add that to the skill of being a musician, a lot of times musicians are also composers, songwriters, not just like masters of their instrument, but also taking on becoming a master at composing things and songwriting things. Each person on here is multifaceted, and also since we're talking about rearranging the planets, I want to get y'all's input on it as well. Like, how is you can go either one, you can go for one at all. But what was your first impression, and how do you feel the show went? So.
The show or my first impression of the music? No, I was just keep it very brief. Steve is a genius composer, and he is one of the most sensitive musicians that I know. We were playing the piece Saturday night, and I think I missed one chord for a millisecond, and he turned around at me like, yo, man, I think I heard that. So, but the music was very involved, and it was a task that we all took on and that we all happily, cheerfully took on. It was very involved. We rehearsed for about 6 months, and but we, like Steve said, we have been playing together for about 10 years, so we have a camaraderie and a chemistry. But the music was very difficult. I won't lie. I'll never forgive you for that.
Yeah, I'll just kind of piggyback off what Shay was saying. Steve put us up to this. Now, like Shay was saying, it was challenging music, but I feel like everybody in the band, and it was about, 9 people? Everybody, we all enjoyed the challenge, so that was really fun about it. Like, we do a lot of different types of gigs all the time, and you can kind of, hate to say it, but you can kind of get in a rut sometimes where, you play several gigs where, you're playing the same songs for a while, or, stuff like that. So it was like really, really refreshing. Not only was the music excellently written and arranged and composed, but it was like really refreshing to have something new and like original and creative to work on and to build together with like other of my like favorite musicians, like Steve and Shay. So thank you, Steve. Yeah. That'll be on the next one.
Thank you for your input, and it's also just enlightening, as I would consider myself a young, upcoming musician artist who's working to write original song. I'm more so on the songwriting side, composition. I'm tiptoeing into it, but it's amazing. You balance being like an instrumentalist musician, learning tunes, but also having the creative energy to pour into your original work, which is something we're on this musical journey of discovering. Like, we're paying homage to Latin American Heritage Month and Hispanic Heritage Month, and also the composers that have created this music, but also on this musical self journey and trying to figure out what inspires us. I get inspired by so many different things, and so we're going to keep this train moving. Let's see, where off to next? Where y'all visiting from? Maryland. Okay. Where else? New York. Arizona, Pennsylvania, New York. Chicago, New York. Well, sorry, none of those places are close to Cuba. That's the next stop on this musical journey in the set list. I was hoping someone said Cuba, but your places are great. So the next tune I would like to highlight is Komo Foy. It's a bolero tune. And bolero is not related to the dance. Bolero tunes are slow tunes that signify love. And the title literally means, how did it happen? How did this love come about? How did I fall so deeply into love? And so let's see how it goes. How did I fall in love with music? I don't know.
Excuse me, I have a question before you get started. Excuse me.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is there an outline that we can have to follow where you're going as far as the music that you're going to be playing? Like you said that we're going to Cuba now.
Mhm.
Is there something that we can have in our hand to look at to follow along with you? Or no?
So
Like a
repeat the question
brochure
out.
outline.
The question, I'm repeating this for Facebook, by the way. The question is, do I have an outline that she may follow along, or a handout that we may follow along? Unfortunately, no, I do not have a handout. These programs kind of change weekly, or usually we may be fortunate, Hunter and I may be fortunate to have a month where we play with the same musicians. And then when we're coming up with these shows, I tend to have a theme, we both tend to have a theme, and it just changes for the week. And so with the handouts, these are planned but also improvised. I may take a song out depending on time, who knows if the musicians are like, yeah, we're not feeling this set list, it just may change. And that roadmap may not go with it at all. But I hope the message that I'm giving you kind of gives you a little sense of where we're going. I try to tell it to you. That's good? Okay.
It can also be rewatched on Facebook. So, just in case you want to rewatch it and follow along again, you'll see us again, and then you can, jot down if you want to.
But that's a good, no, I may actually start doing that. I might just have to come up with a bunch of paper though. I don't know. I don't want to kill those trees. But yeah. Oh, the park. It would be. I'd be just going against my whole park thing. And also another note to add, and then we're going to get into the music, but with interpretation, just like if you go to a park, there may be themes of love or loss or, joy. And so with interpreting things, we like to put this in a music setting. Interpreting love. What does love really mean to you or not? It's all similar. We all experience it. But how do I interpret this and put this into a New Orleans jazz theme or setting? And so this is how we kind of add the park service aspect into it that most people don't really think about when they come to a national park, So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight in what Hunter and I do. All right, music. Let's get into Komo Foy. ¿Cómo fue? No sé explicarme qué pasó, pero de ti me enamoré. Fue una luz que iluminó todo mi ser, tu risa como un manantial. Ojos o tu boca, fueron tus ojos o tu voz, fueron lo mejor, la paciencia de tanto esperar, tu llegada más, no sé decirte cómo fue, no sé explicarme qué pasó. No sé decirte cómo fue, no sé explicarme qué pasó, pero de ti me enamoré. Oh, fue una luz que iluminó todo mi ser, triste como un mantillar. Rego mi vida en quietud. Fueron tus ojos o tu boca, fueron tus ojos o tu voz, fueron lo mejor, la apariencia de tanto esperar. Tu llegada más, no sé decirte cómo fue, no sé explicarme qué pasó, pero de ti me enamoré. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Other words, hold my hand. In other words, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You're all I hope for and I wish and adore. Other words just hold me close. Other words, I love you. me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Other words, hold my hand. Look, boy, you just gotta kiss me. Oh, fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I want and all I adore. Other words, hold me close. Other words, I love you. That was fun. I should have done more swing tunes. Shoot, I'm trying to pay homage to Hispanic Heritage Month, which is going great, but that was fun. I'll be honest. That got my blood pumping. Well, this next tune is going to be Blue Bossa. Going to feature Steve Lenz and the gang one more time. I'm going to take a little break, get a little water, soak it all in just like you, and then I'll be back for the next song. All right. the people tuning in again and just coming in, Steve Lands on trumpet, Shay Pierre on keys, Max Moran on bass, Hunter Miles Davis on drums. We have time for 2 more songs, maybe just one, I don't know. Again, we were on this musical journey. Started in Chicago with Curtis Mayfield, and we went up to New York with a composer named Sonny Rollins, who was from New York. And then I believe he did some travels to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And so this next, that tune that you just heard actually is Blue Bossa, and it was written by Kenny Doran. He did a trip to Brazil in sometime like in 1964, I believe, and he got inspired by the Rio de Janeiro Jazz Festival, and then he composed that song, and it was first heard on Joe Henderson's album Page One. And it's funny because Joe Beam was from Brazil, then passed away in New York, and Kenny was from New York and then came and traveled down to Brazil, so multiple connections. And so for this last 2 tunes, I'm going to sing You Don't Know What Love Is, and that was written by Chet Baker, I believe, or made popular by Chet Baker, but composed a little bit before that. So let's get into it. Don't know what love is until you learn the meaning of the blues. Until you love the love you had to lose. You don't know what love is. You don't know how lips burn until you kissed and had to pay the cost. Until you love the love and you have lost. You don't know what love is. Do you know how a lost heart feels at the thought of reminiscing? And how lips taste of tears, but they lose their taste for kissing. Until you faced your storm with sleepless eyes, you don't know what love is. lose their taste for kissing. You don't, how love, you don't know what love is until you face this dawn with sleepless eyes. You can't tell me why you don't know what love is. You don't know what love is. You don't know what love. You don't know what love is. You can like be free when the band just starts flowing and stuff. They're free too. All right, so this last song, we're gonna bring it on home to Aiko Aiko. With this tune, there's something special about it. So in this song, we want to emphasize this thing called the son clave. It's called the son clave, and basically, clave literally means like clef, key, code. And within these regions like Brazil, Cuba, they break it up and either flip it from 3 to 2 or 2-3. And so with this tying it back to New Orleans, this tune is first written in 1954 by a composer, songwriter, and R&B musician named James Sugar Baby Crawford. But it didn't become famous until the Dixie Cups, an all-girl female band, female group. Before TLC, SWV, Salt and Pepper came about, there was Dixie Cups basically. And they made it popular in 1961. And so, and I think Cyndi Lauper did a version of it. Basically, popular tune. We're gonna emphasize that clave, son clave, and I wanna see y'all moving and dancing, okay? All right, so basically here's how the rhythm goes. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Check that out. All right, okay. And so when I point to y'all, I'm gonna want y'all to clap. Or y'all can have this church feel and just do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a church girl, so I like to, just clap on 4. But let's get it started. Grandma, I'm gonna set your flag on fire. Talking about hey now. I go one day. Giacomo Fino, Anane. Giacomo Fino. Come on, clap those hands. I don't see y'all dancing. My flag boy, spot your flag boy. Sitting on the bayou. My flag boy told your flag boy, I'm gonna set your tat on fire. Talking about hey now. I go one day. Giacomo Fino, Anane. Steve Lance, what you got to say? Hey. didn't see y'all dancing. Y'all was sitting in y'all chair. There you go. Again, thank you. Thank you for coming to the New Orleans Jazz Museum. On behalf of New Orleans Jazz National Historical Park, we want to thank you for tuning into Arrowhead Jazz Band. I got a question right there. What you say?
Have you rebranded yourself for your Tuesday shows? Are you going to now be the Arrowhead?
Yes, we're no longer Down on the Luck Orchestra. What was that?
What your old name was.
Yeah, we're Arrowhead Jazz Band now. That's a
Great reband.
yes. But same, pretty much same band, but just different name.
Arrowhead is.
Okay, so. Yeah, pretty much. It's just our symbol. You know, like Arrowhead is just. Oh yeah. Oh sorry, but it's just the signifying National Park Service, kind of like FBI have their own patch or stuff. It's just symbol stuff. I hope I did not explain that quite well, but does that make sense? But anywho, thank you for coming to our program. I'm Jay Perdue, this is Shay Pierre on keys, Max Moran on bass, Steve Lands, Hunter Miles Davis on drums. Yes. I'm Jay Perdue. Thank you for coming through, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.